Let's go to our next caller here. And this is going to be Megan. Hello, Megan. You're up next.
Hey Bart, how's it going?
Pretty good. Got a hand for us, Megan?
Yeah, this is a 1-3 hand, played up in Victoria, BC.
Oh, another
It was
Canadian.
yeah, 480 effective.
Okay, so yes. And Megan, you've called into the show before, right?
Yeah, back in the summer sometime.
Yeah, 480 CAD. CAD. Loony. 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 All right, so 480 Canadian dollars, 1-3 in Vancouver. Okay.
Yeah, it was 10 of hearts, 10 of clubs. I'm in MP1.
All right, so here has 10 of hearts, 10 of clubs in MP1. Okay.
There was a button straddle on this hand of six, and the
Okay.
small blind called, which yeah, he's loose aggressive. And hero raised to 30, and just the small blind called.
So you say that the small blind is loose aggressive and he blind called the button straddle.
Yeah, he was blind calling every button straddle. He can play loose aggressive when he's in the mood, and he was in the mood at this time for sure. So he's
So
super wide.
how often is this button straddle? Is this every hand or
No, it
common?
wasn't mandatory, but it was a couple times around.
All right. So button straddle, of course, the blinds act first. So small blind limps, hero goes to 30, 5x. I think that's perfectly fine. And small blind calls in your heads up.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. So pot's like 60 and change, probably something like that.
Yeah, yeah, about 60.
Okay.
And the flop came down eight of hearts, eight of clubs, nine of diamonds.
Eight of hearts, eight of clubs, nine of diamonds. By the way, can do you, would you like to say what card room this is at? Is that a
Not
question?
really.
Okay, no problem. Okay, there are quite a few card rooms, right, in the Vancouver area, right?
Yeah, I'm over on the island in Victoria,
In
but yeah,
Victoria, nice. My wife actually asked me, "What is the name of the island over there?" She was like, "Is it
it's
Vancouver?" And I was like, "No, it's Victoria."
it's Vancouver Island, and
No, is it?
Victoria's the city.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, I was wrong. Have you ever seen the show on one of my favorite shows, Taboo? You ever heard of that before?
No, no, I don't think so.
Oh, check that out on AMC. It's about British, American, and the East India Company politics and trying to gain possession of Vancouver Island during the War of 1812. Thomas
Oh,
Hardy.
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, so 9-8, one of my favorites. 9-8-8 rainbow. Okay, so you flop an overpair.
Yeah, and he checked, and
Okay.
I thought I'd bet for value and protection here. I think he would call pretty wide, so I just bet 20.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hero bets
And
20.
he called, and I think he can have like, I don't know, any eight, any nine, any under pair, any kind of straight draw, any kind of backdoor
Ace
flush
high.
draw here.
I mean, ace high.
Like
I mean, people get
yeah,
wrapped up with
totally.
two overcards and ace
Ace
high,
high,
right?
maybe just any two overs, you
Yep.
know?
Yep. For sure. So it's 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the turn came a deuce of diamonds. So there's two diamonds now.
Yep. So nine of diamonds, eight of clubs, eight of hearts, and now the turn here is a deuce of diamonds.
Yeah, and he donks out 80 into 100.
So small blind donks for 80. Now remember, you started the hand with 480 effective, right?
Yeah.
You started the hand with 480 effective. So what do you think this could represent here in terms? Like, what are you thinking here on the turn?
Yeah, so I thought there was a chance that he just picked up a diamond draw here. I thought there was a chance that he had an eight and was trying to get a lot of value out of me. I thought about raising here, but I thought it might like to maybe 200 and leave like 230 behind into a pot of 500, but I just thought that was spewy, so I just called.
It's going to be hard to raise fold against a guy like that. That's for sure
Yeah,
here. I mean, it really comes down to like if he's going to check call with some sort of nine, or if you're going to get value from some backdoor diamonds here too. You don't have a diamond in your hand. I mean, when you call here, the pot's going to be 260, and you've got like 350 left. So believe me, I have played against some bad players. I mean, this kind of reminds me of like hands back in the day where I actually would like to bump it up here so I can get stacks in to go to 180. But if you raise, you're pretty much pot committed here. And one of the things about your hand that's different than say like aces is that there's going to be a lot of rivers where you're just not going to be all that comfortable value betting. So the higher your pair here in these given situations, the more you can play your line of call because you're just going to be able to comfortably value bet across a lot of rivers. Like here, if you call on the river is a king, the river is a queen, the river is a jack, we will sometimes scare ourselves. Then we're like, what are we going to get called by that's worse? It's another card that scares. It scares a nine. I gotta be honest with you. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I don't think he's playing a check call lead here with an eight. And I like your small sizing. I think people over defend when at the small stakes when people use small sizing, that he can have a shit ton of like a wide range. So then it really comes down to when you're in this spot, like I think you have the best hand here. And then what I'd be asking myself is, well, if I call here on the turn, it should look to him that I have something here, right? So if he's not going
Totally.
to
Yeah.
bluff the river, then maybe I should just get my value now from a nine and like go bump it up to like 175, do a little dink and dunk. That's another one here. Dink and dunk
Mhm.
for CLP. Dink and dunk, like something like that for the CLP glossary to like build the pot up here. But hero calls, okay. And now the pot is 260.
I also thought there was a possibility he had like all the full houses, like possibly like eight, nine, even like eight deuce suited at this point, but
Really? That he's going to just check call out and lead here?
potentially, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's bad thinking, but it did cross my mind.
Yeah. Well, Mathemagical 55 says never raise. Why? I think I just. And Tomato Soup says, yuck, nothing to do but call. Of course, they made these comments before I just said why I would raise. So, anyways, so the pot now is $260. I mean, I just think that you have the best hand here, just a ton, and I just would hate to see you lose value from a hand that would call off that backdoored into diamonds or 9x or something like that. So, what's the river here?
Yeah. So the river's the ace of spades.
Okay, so that's like one of these hands where if he checks to you, you probably just check it back.
Just gonna
But
check back. Yep,
yeah, yeah,
totally.
yeah.
So he thinks for maybe I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds and ships it for 350.
So small blind shoves for 350. So this is where I make a lot of. This is a polarizing, very, very polar spot at this level. And what I mean by that is that one of the things where you can make some harder calls at the small stakes is because people do not effectively depolarize themselves on the river. And what that means, of course, is that I would be very, very shocked if this guy, for example, had like ace seven of diamonds, something like that, right? Where he check called with ace high, he semi bluff turn, you called, and now he's gonna effectively value bet at the end. And an ace is like the nuts here. And what I mean is like the effective, and what I mean by that is that if I took ace 10 of diamonds, if I took ace 7 of diamonds here against Megan, if I check call lead turn and she calls, she's not probably doing a whole lot of calling with ace king, maybe sometimes, but I have an ace. I think it's more likely that she has some sort of showdown value like a pair. And when the ace comes, I've got the best hand here. Now, if people can't do the hand reading, I might not go all in, but I'm going to value bet when I run into an ace. But at this level, you just don't see that, and I would be shocked. So if you take out the fact that they could have, I'm trying to spell depolarized here as another term. If they take out the fact that they could have ace X of diamonds here, which I find very, very hard to believe, then this is really like the nuts, like an 8x type of hand or like some, crazy boat that you were talking about or a misdraw. I would have a very, very difficult time folding here. I would call here for the
Yeah.
reasons that I just stated. Now, he could have run into ace nine. That's a good point, guys. That's true. He could have run into ace nine. Alex Kloss says here's blocking jack 10. Then that blocks some of the jack 10s. Ace deuce, of course, would be counterfeit. I think I would call here.
Okay. Yeah, I counted up a bunch of full house combos. I wasn't sure if you would just open shove with trip eights, but I thought maybe.
Well, he should open shove with trip. I mean, if he was going to play a stop and go with 8x,
Sure.
why wouldn't he shove with trip eights?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the fact that like he doesn't, maybe the ace scares you. I just find it hard to believe that he plays like a little stop and go with a boat like that. Like, say he
Right.
flopped 8-9 and he was slow playing it, or he had
What about
eight.
deuces?
Okay, deuces, but would he still though? Yes, deuces is definitely something that he could have, but would he just donk bet the turn after your small sizing when a lot of people in your spot with small sizing actually don't have overpairs?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what ended up happening?
So the bluffs I counted were like queen jack of diamonds, jack 10 of diamonds, 6 7 of diamonds, maybe stuff like that. I ended up folding. I tank folded.
Now, but is there ever and I've been told, and I don't mean this, like, I don't care either way. I'm not the PC police. Maybe I just don't know. I've been told that using the term spaz is bad. If it is, if it's offensive, I apologize. I've always used it in a poker term. I was going to say that I think that because you're small sizing on the flop, there might be a slight spaz factor or a slight just over
Right.
aggressive factor because of the fact that you use such small sizing, and where people will just show up with hands that they shouldn't have because of your small sizing. It's different if you went 2/3 on the flop. That's kind of the key point. Did you ever find out what he had?
Yeah, it showed 5 7 of diamonds.
Sorry about that. So small blind has 5 7 of diamonds. So he turns combo draw. I called the flop with the bottom end of a gutter, turn diamonds,
Yeah.
and that's that.
He knew the ace was a
I,
good.
like I said, I mean, we'll definitely make this one into a video. I think it's really, really important to recognize that usually at the small stakes levels, people are not gonna find the shove here with the ace X as a turned, as a rivered nut flush that should be effectively value bet. So when you take that out, and then you've got the stop and go, which I find a little bit strange because of your small sizing. And then you add all the other hands he shouldn't have because of your small sizing, where he might just float you. That's why I
Yeah.
find the call. So
Yeah.
thank you, Megan.
All right.
Longtime
Thanks.
CLP subscriber. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right.